Hi, Mason. Just wondering, have you thought about pairing with Miles Garrett and what that might be like for you?
No, yeah, I've definitely thought about that. He's, one of the best players in the league, and he's been really dominant. So, nothing but grateful to play next to him and build up Cleveland.
Hey Mason, just curious how much you know about Jim Schwartz already, and just that his defense, he loves to let interior guys get after the quarterback, just how appealing the thought of that is for you.
Yeah, for sure. Even on my 30 visit, he's telling me I'd fit right in with the scheme, attacking, being disruptive on the front, and then playing alongside other great players is, only going to make this defense better.
Mason, congratulations. Andrew Barry has talked about before the pick was even in that whoever they selected would have to be a good fit for the organization and someone that would fit in Cleveland. So for what you know about this organization and really Northeast Ohio, if you know anything about it, what makes you a good fit for this organization?
Yeah, I've been really close in Michigan the past few years. So, yeah, Cleveland, I think I'll just come in and fit right in. I feel like this defense and just this culture that the team has, even on my 30 visit, I can tell that, everyone's about business and, wants to get back on top.
Hey, Mason, when did you know that the Browns were going to be a possibility, and were you shocked at all when you got drafted there?
I kind of heard some stuff, but on my 30 visit, I had a really good conversation with Coach Stefanski, Coach Schwartz, and Coach Jock. So, I was really confident about, I didn't know how it was all going to play out, but, fortunately, they traded back a few picks, and I was able, they were able to pick me up, and, I'm nothing but grateful.
I was going to ask you about that visit. What stood out to you most about your conversation with Jim Schwartz?
Yeah, I mean, we had multiple conversations, but, just him seeing, how I could play in the defense and, all of his experience that he's had previously, he thinks I can fit right in, and I believe, I'm a great fit for the Cleveland Browns and this defense.
Hey, Mason, Andrew Barry was talking about, your background in wrestling in high school and just how much important it is as a defensive tackle. Can you kind of expound on that a little bit and how much you feel like it's benefited you in technique and everything like that?
Yeah, I feel like it's benefited me a lot. I feel like wrestling teaches you just, mental and physical toughness as well, along with, the stuff that comes with being a D lineman, feeling leverage, feeling body weight. You're wrestling another big guy, and that's what, basically is what offense and defensive line do all game. So I feel like it really translates.
Hey, Mason, I heard you call yourself a fierce competitor right after you'd been picked. Why is that so important to you, and how else would you describe yourself as a player?
I mean, yeah, I call myself that because, my main goal is to come in and win. I want to make this organization better, and, me coming in here and playing along the front, I feel like, it's only going to make the team better.
Mason, you played for a former NFL defensive coordinator in Coach Martindale. How much do you feel like that will prepare you for what you're going to see, coming into the league?
Yeah, I mean, just, gaining knowledge from him this past year. He's been in the league for a while now, and I'm grateful to come to Michigan. The first thing that happened, he was, giving me the, tips for the next level because he knew, I was going to be at this ultimate level come this time. So he was just kind of preparing me and, giving me tips and stuff to, start fast and, help the organization.
Hey, Mason, how much are you looking forward to chasing around Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow?
Well, I mean, Cleveland picked me for a reason, so obviously they want me to take those guys down, so that's my main agenda.
Mason, a lot of the guys that come through here say they're going to attach themselves to the hip of Miles Garrett so that they can learn so much from him. Is that one of the things that you aim to do, and what do you hope to learn from him from a pass rush standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, he's just a great overall player that you can learn a lot from. Seems like a good person. I haven't met him, but, I'm sure I'll meet him pretty shortly. But, yeah, just gaining knowledge from him. He's one of the best, so if not the best. So just grateful to, learn from him. And, I've been blessed with a good vet.
Mason, as you get into this organization and get acclimated and start meeting people, I think people will start to get to know you. But right now, what's the first thing that Browns fans should know about you as a player and a person?
I feel like player, first of all, I'm going to dominate, come in and dominate, make this team better, fit right in the dog pound. And, Coach Schwartz, really relies on his front. So, that's what I'm going to do. And, he calls it the engine, and I'm going to be just that for, this team. And talking about player, just kind of what kind of person I am. I'm a team guy. I want to win at all costs, and I want to get Cleveland back on top.
Hey, Mason, these guys took Mike Hall from Ohio State, obviously, last year with their first pick in that draft. So I'm sure there's some familiarity there that you have with him. So just what do you think it'll be like to play with, former rival here now?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of his stuff the past few years, especially playing them. I feel like he's a really good player. He moves really well. So I feel like, we can both, work really well on the front and, get into this attack, defense and cause some disruption.
Are you close with Zach Zinter? And if so, will you get him on the phone real quick to find out what Cleveland and the Browns are all about?
Yeah, I'm close with him. I just, when I was on my visit, I seen him around working out, so it was cool to see him. But yeah, he texted me earlier. I seen it pop up. I've got a lot of messages, but I seen his, and he said, "Just welcome to Cleveland. Let's work."
Hey Mason, congratulations. Obviously, it's nothing you can control, but when the Browns trade down from number 2 and they bypass Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter, who are obviously very highly touted guys, is that something that can motivate you to show you can make an impact like they may be able to? Is that something that you can kind of look forward to lighting a fire?
Yeah, for sure. They traded back for a reason. They wanted to pick me, and then I feel like I'm just grateful for the opportunity, and I'm going to come in and do whatever it takes. And yeah, blessed to be a part of the Cleveland Browns.